Yo! How to make experimental bass music like AHEE. Bass candy.
Candy. Candy. Candy.
Okay, drums are very simple. You can copy those, they're pretty easy. Some hats, closed hats, open hats, this little. But the magic's in the bass, as always. We're gonna be doing some sound design. Show you how I made this. We'll go over this in a second, the rack, but let's hop into Serum. This is how we make this sound. Okay, so we're gonna disable everything real quick. Just so you guys can see, no filter, no noise, none of this, none of this. Take the sub off. Start off with a sine wave, throw this LFO on the level. I got it on 30 seconds. I also have a macro connected to this that I can automate. So this is gonna be like your low note. Pretty simple. Add another sine wave. This one, same thing. But as you can see, a little less. We got it turned up plus 3 octaves. Sauce. Sub bass, another sine wave. In this, I added this granular synthesizer with just an 808 and LFO on the level, LFO on the scan. It just makes it sound a little bit more like an alien is abducting you. White noise, got an LFO on the level. This adds some texture. Nice. Filter 1, we got an MG low filter. LFO on the cutoff, like this. On the drive, going up a little bit. We can actually make this thing fatter. Nice. FX, distortion, tube. Just makes it a little bit louder. I started using this splitter, so that way I can put just stuff on the high ends. We're gonna turn this up to about 700 hertz. So everything above 700 hertz, we're gonna have a chorus, flanger, hyperdimension. I got the mix turned down pretty low on all these. So this is the chorus. This is before. You can barely hear it, but it's like a little bit of a difference. Flanger, hyperdimension. Before this. Nice. Compressor, multi-band, got the threshold turned down to like -10. The gain, this is not supposed to be that high. Good God. Makes it a little louder, makes it a little crispier. Convolve, pencil. Nice. Compressor, same thing, just another one. Makes it, I like compression, it sounds good. We got an equalizer to cut out these low ends a little bit. Yeah, just cutting everything below 210. Filter, the highs are a little high, so turn it down a little bit. Actually turn the resonance up a little bit on that. Reverb, hall, we got the low ends cut out a little bit. And then we have another equalizer with this little notch cut out of it, but the gain is as the LFO on the gain, so it comes up, it just, when the sound drops, it cuts a frequency I didn't really like on there. Pretty nice. I'm liking that. And that's pretty much everything in Serum. Pretty simple. What do I have in the rack? Multi-band compression. Another EQ just to cut that out. What are my neighbors doing? This thing right here is cool. It's just makes it a little wider. I have a kilohertz comb filter, stereo, and the cutoff you just want to move around until it's like where it sounds the widest. So like if I have it up here, I liked it right there. And then we just have the dry wet turned down to like in between 20 and 30% usually sounds the best. And then I made this like just a little thing I could save, drag and drop in there. So this is, here, let's turn all this off. This is before. Just a little wider. I also have this, I like adding a touch of reverb and echo on the chain. Can't go wrong. And then a saturator, just to, that saturator's actually not doing anything. But sometimes it's a little quiet, so I have a macro on there just so I can turn it up. Got a macro on the low cut, macro on the resonance, macro on the rate. That way I can just save the sound, and anytime I make a little melody, I can drag it and drop it in there, and it's gonna sound pretty good. I also have a Yui. This one, very similar. Got pretty much the same post-processing, but we'll go in here real quick and show you the Yui sauce. Starts off with a square wave. Let's actually remove all these because there's a lot happening right there. The Yui starts off like that. Little pitch distortion from this sine wave, bumped up an octave. Got a little sub in there, sine wave. The level of this is automated by the LFO. The level on this is completely down because that's pitch distorting this. And then the LFO 1 on the level as well. Also a little white noise. Pretty simple. We'll go to our FX chorus. Downsample, this is kind of where the sauce happens. On the distortion, have a filter on pre, LFO on the frequency, LFO on the Q, and I have this macro connected to the drive so you can kind of mess around with it. So as you can see, pump on the frequency in the drive, and it makes it go from ya 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 to you. Two compressors. Reverb. These are multi-band compressors, by the way. Got the lows completely cut out of this reverb. It's on Hall. And the mix is modulated by the LFO. Filter. Bumps up the low ends, cuts out the high ends a little bit, and then one more equalizer just to bump up the low ends. Same thing, we have our wider sauce and our echo and reverb plug-in thing. Rate and low cut are what I have in here, so I can just kind of mess around with that.
Candy. Candy.
Tasty bass candy, man.
Yep, I have a bass folder right here. I'm just gonna throw this in here. We're gonna overwrite that because it's the same. And that's how you make these cool racks. It makes your production much quicker if you have a sound that you already like. You just drag and drop it in there. Serum 2. We're gonna me copy this over. Do this kind of thing. Single band compression is gonna be fun. And then you can literally just add the make bass go wider sauce. And EQ. Don't even really need EQ. And then throw a saturator on there if you need it to be louder. So yeah, that's how I made the bass for Bass Candy. The song's not out right now at the time of recording, but it will be at some point. I like it.
Candy. Candy. Candy.
Also, real quick before I end this video,
Candy.
this is how you make this. Get Vital. Text to wavetable. Type in whatever you want.
Candy.
And the synthesizer just talks. It's pretty cool.
Candy.
Then obviously don't forget your effects. And then the fun part about when you do that, you can just go for the second sound, switch this first one up to a square wave, and then now we have this.
Candy. Candy.
Hope that helps. Like and subscribe for more tutorials, sound design stuff, and I'll be releasing free presets and Serum racks, or Ableton racks, and samples when I get a little bit more of a library built up in a couple months. So stay tuned. More coming out soon. See ya!